Napa CAMS stands for Napa Community Awareness Management System. So it's a way for us to see video from businesses and citizens in the community that have existing video camera systems. So what it looks like is you're a business and you've got cameras and you want to make your community a better place. So you want to share that those outside external feeds with us. You start the service and we will be able to access those cameras that you allow us to. And that's it. Napa CAMS is a neighborhood watch. It is just for the digital age. The technology is available for us to connect. And it is no different than the neighborhood setting up a watch member and going out on patrol. We're just doing that in a digital format.
We look at ourselves as, a steward of the community. And so we've always done what we can to support the community. The great thing about the Napa CAMS project, they have access to a camera at our front door. They can see what type of activity is going on. And if they spot something before we see it, then that response time occurs even before we know about it.
Well, working in housing and homeless services, when I was connected with the Napa CAMS program, I was thrilled to learn that there was an opportunity for us to have cameras in the community that really help us understand what's going on. We're able to place cameras in areas where there is high traffic of those experiencing unsheltered homelessness, maybe near encampments and whatnot, so that we're able to protect individuals who are experiencing unsheltered homelessness before they're able to access shelter or housing services from being the victims of crimes, but also being able to understand what might be happening to them out in the community as a safety precaution for them.
The more that we come together and work together, the safer our community is. So on this very street, on First Street here, probably 90% or more have cameras. And if we were to connect them all, those public-facing cameras, we would have nearly ubiquitous coverage on the downtown area where crime and violence would not be tolerated, and we would have a safer community.
It all started with trust. At the very beginning, if I didn't have trust in the Napa PD, if we didn't trust what they were doing with the footage, we would have never been part of the program. When the proposal came through to do this, of course, we ran it through our legal team. We wanted to make sure that, there was nothing that seemed off kilter. The only camera, again, that they're looking at is an exterior camera. This has nothing to do with privacy of guest information inside the hotel. It has nothing to do with who's up here at the rooftop right now. This is purely one camera at the front door that allows them to have some greater coverage of First Street Napa. And we all know that there's no way that a police officer can be on every street corner every time an incident happens. But by participating in the program, giving them a greater breadth of visual awareness of what's going on, that allows them to respond even quicker, even if it's with more limited resources.
With the Napa CAMS, I can be in multiple places at once. When we first started the program, we had a really significant problem of fights, alcohol, and drugs at the downtown skate park. And we tried doing bicycle patrols and we tried doing vehicle patrols, but we would come in, we would, check on things, and as soon as we left, the criminal element would come back. But then when we installed a camera, we were able to monitor, see who is actually doing the illegal behavior. We could go exactly to that person and take care of that issue. I mean, it quickly became known that that was what was going on. We didn't hide it, and that behavior quickly subsided. And because of that, we noticed a dramatic decrease in the criminal activity at that skate park.
The perception of unsheltered homelessness particularly means that someone needs to commit a crime to sustain their livelihood, their well-being, whatever, obtain food. And that's not typically the case. That's not what we find. Cameras in the community really help us understand what's going on, not only from the criminal justice and law enforcement perspective, but for us to know where people might be staying at night, how we can contact individuals. In some ways, it's breaking stereotypes and breaking down those barriers and helping us be able to understand what is really happening in a neighborhood and how we can intersect our services when and where needed.
It really takes a community to keep a community safe and set the expectation and look out for each other.
Yeah, it's not, Napa isn't Mayberry, and there's things that happen even in a small community such as ours. And, allowing the police department to have the tools to direct their officers in more appropriate areas as things could pop up. I mean, I wish that every business that had a camera would give access to them.
Community members who opt to purchase equipment or link their already purchased equipment into the system, they're doing a community service in that regard. They're helping us help our police department and allow our police department to then focus on the most critical issues while having access to good information and good data.
I'm not aware of a lot of neighborhood watch programs that are around today, but this is that same concept. It's neighbors helping neighbors. It is a community coming together, working with the police who are your neighbors to solve these problems. And I think when you do that together, it is way more powerful and way more successful and way more equitable than anything that we could do by ourselves.